What's popping? It's so weird recording with a freaking baby in my hands. But yeah, so we're gonna do a little labor and delivery. He's staring dead at me too. We're gonna do a labor and delivery story time, cause I didn't record anything really. I recorded. Well, my mom recorded a little bit, but I didn't. Hi, baby. He's staring dead at me. All right. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of footage, so I'm gonna give you all a little story time, a little rundown of what happened while I was in labor and like how my delivery went and whatnot. So honestly, like my whole pregnancy was really smooth. I'm not gonna lie, and my labor and delivery went the same way for the most part. Not even for the most part. Like literally, it was pretty smooth. Um, but I got tricked, y'all. I got tricked into having this baby a day or so early, maybe like 2 days early. So I went in for an appointment on the 26th, and so she checked my cervix or whatever. Well, my appointment was at 1:45. She went in, checked my cervix, and she was like, at this point, I'm 40 weeks in 2 days, right? No, 40 weeks in a day or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember, child. I'm like 40 weeks and I think a day. And I had him at 40 weeks in 2 days. I don't know. But, yeah, she went in, checked my cervix. Now, mind you, this whole time, the past couple of weeks before that, I had no dilation. Like, I wasn't dilated. My cervix was thinning, but I wasn't dilated, not a single centimeter. But she checked the 26th, and she was like, I can barely get a fingertip in there. I'm like, oh my gosh. I've literally, when I tell you I've tried everything to get this baby out, like, everything. I was like, over it. I was so ready to meet him, and now he's here, and he's almost 2 weeks. By the time y'all see this video, he'll be like 2 weeks. But yeah. So she checked my cervix. She was like, "Oh, you're like I could barely get a fingertip in there, but I'll see what I can do about getting you scheduled for an induction." And y'all, I wanted to avoid an induction at all costs because like all the stories you hear, it's like, oh, it took forever and I had to get an emergency C-section and all this and all that. And I was like, okay, I'm getting induced, but like I told them from the beginning, I was like, I want to avoid a C-section at all costs. Like my mind was set on not having a C-section at all. Unless it was like dire need of a C, and I was in dire need of a C-section, then that's another story. But yeah, I didn't need one at all. So, yeah. So she comes back. She was like, "Let's see what we can do about getting you induced." She comes back and she hands me a sticky note, and she's like, "Okay, we can have you in for tomorrow at 6 a.m." I said 6 a.m. I was like, oh, this is getting real. She was like, if you don't come in tomorrow, then it'll be pushed back to April 1st. And I was like, April 1st? I don't want my baby's whole life to be a joke. So, so I was like, no, we can do it tomorrow. And she was like, all right, cool. But since you are 40 weeks, we're going to have you go in for a non-stress test to go into like the labor and delivery side, basically get that done, right? This is why I say I got fooled into having him early, like a few hours early, or a day or so early, because freaking, I went in, did the non-stress test. That was probably around like 3-ish. And, and they were like, they were monitoring his heart rate and to see like if he had any dips or if he had any like highs in his heart rate. And I feel like they were lying only because I knew that I was moving trying to get comfortable, and they were like they came in and checked every once in a while, and then by the time I was probably there for like 45 minutes to an hour ish, I guess, and they were like by the time it was time for me to go, they were like you know we're having the baby's heart rate keeps dipping, and so just to be sure that everything's okay and nothing changes overnight, we're gonna keep you. I was like, huh? Like, oh shit, it just got serious. And so, sorry for cussing, but yeah, I was like, oh, it just got serious. So they were like, yeah, we can go ahead and get your room situated and put you in your room, get you prepared with the dilation pill and whatnot. And I was like, y'all, wait, first of all, they were like, since you're coming back in 10 hours anyways, we might as well just keep you. And I was like, wait, pause. I haven't eaten anything. Like that was the only thing I was worried about. I was like, I haven't eaten anything. Can I eat something? Because, you know, like before you get induced, they tell you not to eat just in case you were to have to go into surgery or whatnot. And so they were like, no, not really. You can have some fruit and like some soup if you really have to eat. And so yeah, once they got me into my room, I probably got in my room around like 4-ish, somewhere around there. They got me hooked up to the portable monitor because I was like, I want to be able to move around. Like when look, my plan was to go natural. I promise y'all. Like everybody kept telling me, girl, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. And so I was like, we gonna get into that. But yeah, my plan was to go natural. So even being induced and stuff, I was like, whatever. But yeah, I had on the portable monitor. Oh, I'm so tired. Y'all, being a mom is tiresome. But I had on the portable monitor just so I could move around. Like that wasn't my birth plan. I wish I don't know what I did with it. But I had on the portable monitor so I could move around. They gave me like a tiny freaking yoga ball that I could bounce on, but it was so small I didn't even bounce on it. And I was able to move around. Like when they first gave me the pill, you know, they gave you like a little broken up piece of a pill that's supposed to help you dilate. They come in and give it to you every 4 hours. So I wrote it down. I'd say around like 5-ish is when they started giving me the pill. And then yeah, they came in every 4 hours to give me another little piece. They probably did that like 4 times. And I'd say I dilated like a centimeter every time they came in. So by the time they were done, I was probably dilated like probably like 4 centimeters. Because like I said, I wasn't dilated at all when I went in there. I had probably like, they came and checked my cervix every time they gave me the pill too, to see what it was doing, how it was progressing. And then at a certain point, they were just like, okay, you're not really, you're dilating, but not at the rate that we want to and want you to. Yo, I'm trying to think. I'm like, I have mom brain so bad. They came in. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I chickened out. But I'm gonna tell y'all why I chickened out when it came to the epidural. Because your girl was tired. The night before, I literally got no sleep. Like when I tell you I'm tossing and turning and tossing and turning and tossing and turning and tossing and turning. And then I'm anxious because I want to meet him so freaking bad that I'm like, oh my God, I get to meet my baby soon. Like not knowing that it was gonna be this soon, but I was like, I'm gonna meet him. So yeah, that is like the main reason I got the epidural. Because when they first started me on the monitor, they were checking my contractions. My contractions were like coming back to 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 back. And they weren't seriously strong, but they were strong enough to like wake me up every time I doze off. So every time I get into a comfortable position and I'm like, okay, this contraction is manageable. And then the next one will be like right back. And then it wasn't as manageable as the first one. So I'd be like, oh, this is exhausting. I really just want to go to sleep. That, when I tell you, that is the only reason I got the epidural, because I was so freaking tired. I just wanted to go to sleep. And the contractions were kicking my behind. And the thing is, like, the contractions at 2 centimeters, like, y'all know, most people labor at home. Like, your contractions aren't that bad. They're not that close together. They're probably more stretched out at 2 centimeters dilated. But because they gave me that pill, it was like bringing them like that. That was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Can I get a break? So, and then the reason I say they were bearable is because, like I said, I had the portable monitor where I could get up, move around. I was getting up, swaying, like they were manageable at that point. Like I could breathe, I could talk through them, I could do all that. And I was like massaging my stomach to like get the contraction to go back down or whatever. And that was helping like a lot. But when I tell you, like, I was just so tired. I was so tired. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I got the epidural at like 2 centimeters dilated. When I tell y'all I bitched out, I'm sorry, cover your ears, baby. I bitched out. Okay. And so yeah, once I was probably like 5 or 6, I was probably like close to 5 centimeters dilated. They came in. Oh no. That's cap. Because I got the epidural at 2 centimeters dilated. Now about 2-3 centimeters dilated. And then they gave me the Pitocin right after that. So once they started the Pitocin, things started moving faster. But once I got the epidural, I was actually able to sleep. So I kind of just slept through like my contractions. Like when I tell you I couldn't feel nothing from the waist down. Even when I got the epidural, I didn't really feel it. She was like, okay. She kept trying to explain to me like what she was doing. And I was like, ma'am, this will go way smoother if you just do it. Like just don't tell me what's happening. Just do it. And so she still just kept explaining to me. She was like, okay, it's going to feel like a bee sting. And she put it in my back and I was like, ooh, I felt that. But the whole time my mom's like standing in front of me and I'm holding her hands. And then she's like, do you not feel that? I'm like, bro, I'm over here sweating because I'm just nervous. Like, they tell you it's a real big needle going up your spine. Like, that's going to make anybody nervous. That's going to make anybody shaking their boots a little bit. So I was like sweating so bad. Like, I was drenched. They had to come give me a rag afterwards to wipe my face. Once I got the epidural, I was good. Like, I went to sleep right after. And then once I woke up, I probably slept for a few hours. Once I woke up, they came in and I was feeling nauseous. Like, I was feeling nauseous for like a lot of that time. Like after I got the epidural, I guess it's normal. She came in and gave me something for that like twice. And did it work? I don't think so. Because I was still feeling nauseous. And then, let's see. Everything was kind of just moving so fast after that. Like, once I got the Pitocin, once I got the epidural, I went to sleep, woke up, and they came in, gave me a cervix. Or no, she gave me, like, the peanut ball to, like, turn positions to, like, help baby lower down into my pelvic area, you know? So that was helping, I guess. I don't really know. I couldn't feel anything, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, and I just kept turning from side to side like a pancake. And then you still not sleeping? Yo, he's so cute. He looks just like me too. But yeah, at one point she came in, she was like, you're 6 centimeters, you know, everything's kind of moving fast at this point. And then she was like, she left for maybe 3 hours, came back again, and she was like, you're 9 centimeters. And I was like, oh, like, oh, it's getting real. Like, oh, we about to have a baby, like, real soon. She broke my water. I think she broke my water at 6 centimeters. And I was like, it just looks so nasty. They never did like the balloon thing. I kept asking about it because like I was like, I don't want to get the Pitocin. So we're gonna see. if we could get this little balloon thing. She was like, I'll see what the doctor says. But they never came back with the balloon thing. And I was like, they just came with the Pitocin right away. I was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. Like, in my mind, I'm just thinking, yo, this is going to be a long process. But when I realized how fast I was dilating, like, I was like, oh shit, this is some serious shit. I feel like I'm saying so much, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, like, oh my God, it just happened so fast. I feel like I was in labor for almost 24 hours. Hi, baby. Yo, this boy's so big. Let's see. She broke my water. Freaking. Yeah, she came back. I was 9 centimeters. But they put like something else to monitor my contractions. That's what it was. It wasn't the balloon thing. They put like another monitor inside of me to like monitor like my contractions, which I guess they measure how strong it is versus just how consistent it is. So I don't know why they did that though, because what difference did it make at that point? I'm ready to get this baby up out of me. Then what happened? Oh yeah. When she said I was 9 centimeters, it scared me because I was like, how did I get here so fast after like not having any type of dilation for what feels like months, like nothing. Well, like weeks more so, but and yeah, she came back a few minutes later and she was like, all right, let's get into position. And I forgot what she asked me if the doctor wanted to use like, it was like 2 different positions that I could have been in. But for the most part, I wasn't laying like flat on my back. I was kind of like sitting up, which I preferred because like I feel like it makes it easier to push a baby out. They had my legs propped up and she was like, oh no, I didn't even tell y'all. I threw up. Like, that's why I was like, I don't know if the nausea medicine was working because I threw up like a good 3 times. And mind you, I had no food in my body for at least over 24 hours. So it was literally just fluids and the stuff, like the soup and the fruit that I had eaten. And I threw up like 3 times. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's gross. And she was like, well, that's a good sign. It might help, actually. And I guess it did because she was like, once I got into position, she was like, all right, we're going to do a practice push. And I was like, practice push, interesting. Okay. So I pushed and I didn't even feel anything. Like, it was so weird to like not feel anything. It was crazy. I pushed and she was like, I see the baby's head. And I was like, oh, you said practice. What happened to practice push? Usually a practice push, you just, just getting prepared. Like, he was right there, literally. And she was like, do you want me to bring in a mirror? And I was like, yes, I want to see. And so I saw his hair. I was like, damn, this baby, his head was lit. I was like, his head is little. And then I was like, but he got a lot of hair. And so the doctor came in. I pushed again. I probably pushed like 4 times before he came out. And like one of the times I pushed, his head was out, but the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And the doctor, y'all, I had to tell her, I was like, I love your demeanor. Because she came in so confident, so like just ready to do it. And like, even when they gave me the Pitocin, I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel nervous, really, because my doctor was just like she just had that, like, you know how you meet somebody who has, like, confidence, and they just, like, you just know that they're secure in whatever it is that they're doing. Like, she gave me that type of vibe, and I was like, I ain't really tripping, because she looked like she know what she's doing. And she said she's been doing it she's been a midwife for a labor and delivery nurse. I don't remember which one she is, but she's been doing that shit for 50 years. I said, oh yeah, that makes sense. So she was like I said, I pushed and his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, and she was like, we got a cord. And I was like, I knew what that meant, but like even her voice was like, there's no panic in her voice or anything. So it didn't scare me. It didn't freak me out. So I was like, okay, Danielle, we gotta push this baby out. Like, she was like, don't push yet, don't push. And I was like, all right, whatever, we're not gonna push. When she says push, this is gonna be it. So I pushed again, and he was pretty much here. Like, it was just like that. I don't know. And I held him. They put him on my chest, and I was like, he's so warm. Like, I don't know. I just remember that being like the first thought. And then I heard him cry, and I swear this little boy was saying, "Ma, Ma." I was like, what the heck? You know me? Yeah. And y'all probably think like, how's this baby sleeping through all this ruckus? Well, when I tell y'all, my whole family's loud, I had to prepare him. I said, baby, listen, you're gonna be around some loud people your whole life. So we finna get you started early with the talking and being in loud spaces and all that good stuff. When I tell you this baby could pretty much sleep through anything right about now, he can sleep through anything. But yeah, he came out saying "Ma," talking and stuff, eyes wide open, like looking dead at me, looking dead at people around us. I'm like, is this baby supposed to be doing that? I don't know. But he was so alert. And they say like when you have the lights dim in your room, it helps with them like being more comfortable to open their eyes because it's not so bright. But he was like eyes wide open. I said, yo, what the heck? And then yeah, I was good. They made me get up and pee for after like probably like a few hours after I gave birth. They told me how to like clean myself or whatnot. Yo, when I tell you, I don't know if first of all, he latched on like immediately. She was like, one of the doctors was, pause, I'm getting ahead of myself. Pause. So I held him on my chest for a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes. And eventually the doctor came over to like weigh him or whatever. So she grabbed him and she was like, I think we got us a 7-pounder or something like that. And she was like, Mama, how much do you think he weighs? And I yelled out, I was like, 712. And she was like, 713. I was like, oh, I was close. Cause like I was holding him. I was like, he feels big, but he doesn't like, he's not as big as I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be like 8 pounds, like 9 pounds. But he was little, and now he just seems so big to me. And then yeah, so she brought him back. She latched him on, and he latched good. Like I'm still breastfeeding. He hasn't taken a bottle yet. Like since we left the hospital, he has not had a bottle, or not even like even in the hospital, he never took a bottle at all, not once. Yeah, that baby getting that good milk, so he growing healthy and strong. When I tell you this baby is chunky, he is chunky. See, he latched on. They made me go to the bathroom a few hours after that. I was able to get up and walk and move around and stuff. But y'all, the weirdest feeling was like feeling my stomach be so empty. Like, ooh, excuse me. Like, it was the weirdest feeling. And then a few hours later, the lady, one of the nurses, she had came in and made up my bed and everything for me, like all nice and comfortable. The bed was like, the room was like huge. The bed was tea. Like, she did it so perfect. And I was like, oh, I don't even want to get comfortable because I already know something's about to happen. Like that's the labor and delivery room, and then the postpartum room is like a whole different room. So she came in probably like 1 o'clock, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was like, I'm so sorry, guys. You're gonna have to switch into the postpartum care room or whatever. So we walked down this long behind hallway and got this little itty bitty room, which I was like, oh yeah, at this point I'm ready to go home. So we spent the night there. And y'all, that whole night he did fine. Like I was kind of nervous because he didn't wake up to eat like one time, but I'm like, okay, he just got here. They still came in my room the nurses still came in my room every 4 hours to give me pain medicine like Tylenol and I don't want to say it wrong in case it's not that Motrin. I don't know. For like the cramping or whatever. Yeah, so they came in every 3 hours for that. And I don't think it was Tylenol. I think it was ibuprofen. Whatever. They were switching it just so it didn't like my body didn't get used to it and not work. They came in every 3 hours to make sure he ate and had a poopy diaper or whatever, peed or whatnot. But it was like one point where he wouldn't wake up to eat. Like at that point, I tried to give him a bottle. He wouldn't take the bottle. I tried to give him my boob. He wouldn't take the boob. But I was like, am I starving my baby? And she came in. She was like, okay, when's the last time baby's eaten? And I was like, girl, he hasn't since he came out for real. And she was like, okay, well, that's fine. You know, just try to get him to latch on whenever you can. He was just asleep. Like, he just wasn't hungry, apparently. But when I tell you that baby pooped good, that first night out, he pooped like 3 times. And she was like, there's a laxative, or one of the lactation nurses came in or whatever. And she was like, you know, it's normal for babies to poop that much. You know, there's basically like a laxative in your breast milk that makes them go so much. I was like, oh, okay, because this baby was pooping a lot. I thought he was going to be dehydrated or something. But, yeah, everything was fine. I literally left the hospital like 24 hours after he was born. And usually they make you stay for like 2 or 3 days. We left literally the next day. They had to run all his tests like at 24 hours. And he passed everything. He did good. We had to go, if we were to leave, when we were to leave that night, we would have had to come back the next day to do his jaundice test. And so we ended up doing that the next day. And they were worried at first that it was high. Like, all babies have jaundice when they're born. But they were worried that his was high, and then they drew blood. And they were like, oh, he's fine. So we got us a healthy baby. Nothing's wrong with him. He's so handsome. He's so cute. He looks just like me. Like, he looks like his dad, but he looks like me. And I'm like, yes, my twin. That's my twin. He's so cute. Let's see. Well, yeah, that was about it for my story time. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was a pretty easy breezy labor. I feel like if I was to have another kid, I would be like, ooh, this is so hard. But in reality, like, it was pretty cool. And even now, he's like a really chill, cool baby. And I'm so thankful that we are both healthy. And yeah, we are healthy and safe and sound and strong. Yeah. But he's a good baby. He really don't cry. Like, he cries now. He recognizes me. Like, he knows who I am. He be like, where's my mama? When some people have him, he be like, where my mama at? My nephew even said that. He was like, he want his mom. I was like, oh, you're funny. But yeah, that is a story time. A baby Luxington. Y'all still don't know his name for real. Y'all just know him by Lux. But story time of how baby Lux got here. Our labor and delivery. I honestly didn't think I was gonna be able to record this video because he was like a little fussy earlier, but he calmed down. He's tired. He was just tired. Baby was ready to get some sleep. So yeah, that's it. I think that's about it. I'm gonna fill out, or not fill out, but I'm gonna put more information at the end of this video. But until next time, I'm thankful for another day of living in my purpose. And y'all stay prayed up out here. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Only if you're doing good things out here. If you're doing bad things, then don't do those things. Yeah, and we'll see y'all later. Say bye, baby. Say bye. Hold on. Shit. Can I see your hand? Say bye. That's the wrong hand, but the other hand's tucked under himself, so. All right.